Okay, are the Thursday night football games just going to be like good now? Glory be Jesus Christ.
Glory forever. Welcome to Dynamite Duo Sports, the podcast where we break down the NFL's top storylines with the facts, including the fact that the Ravens are in trouble. I'm Giuseppe,
I'm Antonios.
and today we are going to be predicting the games for Week 5 of the NFL season. We got bye weeks starting this week, so as you can see, we got the bye week teams listed down here below. They're hanging down, which means they are not playing. So if you're wondering why those teams are there, that's why they're there.
Just to make it a little easier and the Packers fans can take a little break from the past two panicking weeks for them.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, once
and
again,
before we begin, in case you're wondering why I'm wearing this Habimus Papam as the shirt, because people are like, that's not a sports shirt.
Roman numerals, but it still works.
So it still counts for anyone who's wondering why I'm wearing the shirt.
And hey, Chicago's won the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's start with the 49ers taking on the Rams. So 49ers had a heartbreaking loss after multiple turnovers from Brock Purdy in that game. I didn't see the interceptions, but I just know that the fumble at the end, his former teammate Eric Armstead got the fumble.
He's like, revenge!
Seal the win. And, Jaguars, they look pretty good against them, but, like their defense, they were solid. They're nothing special, but they were solid. And then you got the Rams taking down Indiana Jones for the first time this season.
Which kind of would have been a different story if the receiver did not stretch his hand out.
Yeah.
I got it!
They very well could have gone to overtime. So
yeah, too many overtimes.
College
and NFL.
no more overtime. Okay. So yeah, Rams offense looked really good. Their defense was solid. Basically, they're kind of the same thing, except the Rams offense looked better. But so
you're starting to click.
Yep, they're starting to click. So, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Rams.
All right. So
now it is a divisional game. 49ers could come out and win, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Even though I do like Brock and CMC. If George Kittle was playing, I would say otherwise that there's a chance. But because he's not, I just don't think
and even if he
not
did,
likely.
Even if he did play, which I don't think he is.
Even if he did play, I would pick Rams. So I'm saying there would be a better chance of them winning. Or if they had Ayuk and everyone back
or
healthy,
maybe Nick
then
Bosa.
Whole nother Nick Bosa, then it would be a whole nother story. But because that's the case, I don't think they'll win, but they could. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Next up, we have the Vikings versus the Browns. Now, the Browns had the one lucky fluke game against the Packers. Every other game, they've just not played well. The Vikings, they are just kind of right now. Their defense, which normally stops Aaron Rodgers, didn't really stop him, at least in the first half. In the second half, the Steelers' offense slowed down, but they kind of they purposefully did towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter because they didn't really have to. But the thing for me is that the Vikings, though, they did crush the Bengals. Their defense is still pretty solid, and the Browns just had one lucky game, so I think it's pretty easy for this pick.
3, 2, 1.
Vikings. Yeah. I just don't think the Browns are good. I think they just had that lucky game against the Packers, or maybe the Packers are frauds. Who knows?
Then we got the Raiders heading to Indianapolis to take on Indiana Jones. So, here's the thing about this game. The Raiders played solid, except for Geno Smith.
Geno Smith is going to be their fall of the season, their downfall, because Genti, they actually decided to use him this week.
And they let him stand in his Michael Myers stance.
He was great. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason why, the reason why he stands up is because he's short. And because Seppi was mentioning the other day, he can read the defense. Because he's a shorter guy, if he squats, he can't see anything. So I think that's the reason why he stands up. But now they use Genti, they see that he's now a really good player. The only problem is when you have a talented tight end like Brock Bowers, but you have a bad quarterback like Geno Smith right now, you can't really throw the ball. The Colts, they had an unlucky loss this past Sunday against the Rams. So for me, it's honestly, I think it's a pretty easy pick. but until Geno can actually change how he plays and stop throwing so many picks. You ready?
Three,
Two.
2, 1.
Colts. Yeah. If
We need
the
to start picking against each other in these games.
if the Raiders had just beaten the Bears, which they almost did, but was blocked, I might have a little bit, or at least he might have picked Raiders. But for me, I think the Colts are still pretty solid. And if they do lose this, I think that this is officially the fall of the Colts, though. All right, so now we have the Giants versus the Saints. This game, if Russ was playing, I would be like, okay, this is just gonna be a terrible game. But now that Jackson Dart is the starting QB, this is a game that I should be excited to watch. Not because I think it's gonna be a good game, but just because I want to see Jackson Dart,
If we
Cam
didn't have to
Scatabo.
watch the Panthers Dolphins.
Yeah. And also the only issue with the Giants though for this game is how Malik Neighbors is probably out for the rest of the season, which is really rough because since Jackson Dart is playing, there was a little hope that they could at least maybe ruin people's playoff chances or like kind of like have a little fight towards the end just to give people a little
Well,
panic.
well,
Um, but since he's hurt, that's gonna be an issue. But at the same time, they are playing the Saints, who is everything's so like just below average for the Saints. Like everything's just below average. Not like awful, but everything's just below average. That they seem like such a boring team, and it's not like they play simple. They're just boring. There's nothing. I don't even really think about the Saints. I don't even know like a lot of their players. I don't even really think about that. Chris Olave, like they have good players, but I just don't think about them because they're just so boring. But you ready to pick
3, 2, 1.
Giants? Yeah.
But at least you could ruin the Saints playoff chances. Then you got the Dallas tied up Cowboys taking on the New York Jets.
Since the Cowboys tied, could go 8-1 this year. They go back to their old ways. And Seppi growing up as a little kid, always seeing the 8-8 record, he's probably
Here's
thinking to
my
himself,
question,
no,
though. Would that
not
be
this.
considered above 500 then? That's my question.
I don't think so. I think it's literally still 500 because it's a half.
Yeah, I had no idea what that would do.
But
anyway,
that would be real. I would laugh my head off if that happens though, because it's like, haha. It's like you always start saying they can't go 8-8 anymore. They could go 8-1, closest you can to it. But
anyway, so yeah, Cowboys offense looked very, very good this past
their
week.
defense was still their defense.
Yes, their defense was still bad. So despite not having CeeDee Lamb, still put up 40 points with a good running game from Javonte Williams, who is starting to definitely solidify his role.
I like Javonte Williams because he's like one of those simple running backs where he just picks somewhere to run, he just goes for it. And even though you're not going to get like 50-yard runs with that, you're going to get like 5 yards. And that's enough to make it manageable, which means like 2nd and 5. That means you can do handoff, you can do a short pass, you can do anything.
It just literally makes it so much easier for Dak to be able to throw the football.
Get the first downs and everything.
Yes.
The Jets, it's like, Jets are not a good team. But don't underestimate that, like, they can make, because your defense is so bad, don't underestimate what they could do.
One thing with the Jets that I'm concerned about is the run defense. I think they will be able to limit Javonte Williams more than he's been limited.
Yeah.
And then I am worried about Justin Fields tearing up our defense.
Because he can run.
And he can throw against our secondary, because our secondary doesn't exist. So
yeah, and you got Garrett Wilson, who's a very good wide receiver.
Yep.
I think Garrett Wilson's probably the best wide receiver that nobody talks about.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had one of the most impressive catches in NFL history last year on Halloween against the Texans.
Yep.
That was a crazy catch. I was like, wait, that counts? I'm like, oh, I guess it does count. Okay, then amazing catch.
Yep. So yeah, I feel like this is a trap game. I feel like I hope if the Cowboys...
Kind of like the Bears, where it's like, you should have won, but then like, I mean, CeeDee Lamb did get hurt, but then like you got
the defense.
Who knows? Maybe the Pope gave the Bears a blessing for the game. Then that would be understandable.
But so yeah, I am very worried about this game. But with that being said, 3, 2, 1, Cowboys.
Oh. Yeah, I was about to say it is the Cowboys' game to lose, in my opinion. But they could lose, and again, like I said, Cowboys can win or lose against any team, and it won't surprise me just because it's the playoffs that can surprise me. The whole regular season is like null and void to me. Like so. They could win, they could lose. I wouldn't be like, what happened? I'll just be like, that's just Cowboys football. Next up, we have the Broncos taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, before the season started, I would say this would be a good game. It could be a good game. But I haven't seen enough from the Broncos for me to actually have confidence in this game. Um, to be fair, we are doing these predictions before the Monday Night Football games. So if the Broncos do something way over the top, but again, it's the Bengals defense and with the backup QB, so you still can't really tell. But if they do something above and beyond like expectations, which would have to be insane against a team like the Bengals, then I could say they have a decent shot at the Eagles. But the Eagles' offense looks like they are starting to kind of like click, and it's like they are.
Their second half against the Buccaneers says otherwise.
No, but that's because they didn't have to. That's the thing about the Eagles, though. Like when they played Chiefs and
Oh,
everybody.
for 8.
I know. No,
Passing.
no, I know that's rough. But what I'm saying though is that like the Eagles, even with not doing well in the second half, they did so well in the first half. They didn't have to do well in the second half. So what I'm saying is the Broncos need to keep it tight the entire time, so that when it comes down to it, they actually probably have good opportunity. If the Eagles get too far ahead, even if they play bad, it's going to be over. That's just what I'm saying, because their defense will do something or their special teams will do something to screw the game. So as long as you stay close, you don't have any blocked punts or kicks, I think you have a shot. But that's still a long way to go, at least for the Broncos right now. You ready to pick?
3, 2, 1.
Eagles. I know you're going to say Broncos because you're just so...
Yeah, Eagles.
You're saying Eagles.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just don't believe in the Broncos enough. I'll
Yeah.
just have to count on Jackson Dart next week.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Then we got the Tank Bowl. I don't really need to say anything else. These are literally maybe the 2 worst teams in the NFL.
Dolphins, Panthers. It's like Panthers. I was like, was the Falcons game a fluke game or you guys actually stepping up? It's a fluke game.
It was
It's
absolutely a fluke
absolutely
game.
fluke game, and it's like, you know, with like the
if you get destroyed by the Patriots, no offense, you're not good.
Yeah, and it's just.
And you got destroyed by the Jaguars.
Look, if us saying we have no hope in you makes you win, we're just gonna say that the entire season though. But in this game, it's like as long as the Dolphins are all healthy, I think it's pretty easy to pick this though.
3, 2, 1. Dolphins. And
Could Panthers win? Sure, but as of right now, I'll just never pick you guys. And if you guys win, good for you.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just be your lucky charm if we just don't pick you.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Texans and the Ravens, both 1-3. Who would have thought? Before the season started, that we already knew this would be a good game, but now this is more of like a concern for the Ravens game because the Texans come off with their first win.
Well,
the Ravens having a big upset loss.
Both very concerned. They're both 1-3.
Both are concerned, but the Ravens, their defense is banged up. Lamar has. Before we made this video, we don't know if Lamar's going to start or not. Probably will, because I think the injury was not as bad. He was just being a sore loser. I think he just gave up. But this game could go either way, but I am losing a lot of hope in the Ravens. The Texans, it's like, because the Ravens' defensive line is so banged up right now, the Texans' O-line might be able to do enough for the Texans to actually step up in this game. And if they do, that's going to be then officially hit the panic mode for the Ravens, because this is like you're 1-4.
Oh yeah.
If you lose like just 2 more games, you could possibly like miss the playoffs. So it's going to be very hard to come back if they lose another game. And I feel like this will be a good game, I think, only because the Ravens so banged up that the Texans could put up a good fight. And the Texans defense is still good. So if Lamar is hurt, then I think it's absolute no question Texans are going to win actually. But since if Lamar is playing, it shouldn't be a problem. You ready to pick?
3, 2, 1.
Texans. Yeah.
Have we picked different yet?
I don't think so. But it's like this should have been an easy Ravens win with how Texans are playing, but because of what's been happening, it's like I don't trust you guys right now. If you guys win, I'm like, okay, that was just simply Chiefs owning you. If you guys win. But if Texans beat you, I'm like, yeah, panic mode. Don't say Lamar's MVP ever again.
Then we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
From one part of the country all the way to the other corner.
Yep.
Basically.
Literally probably the farthest somebody team can travel unless
unless it's Dolphins.
Yeah,
unless it's Dolphins.
Seattle.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so this should be a pretty good game, honestly.
Mostly because every game the Buccaneers have been really close, and because they're banged up, I would like to see the Buccaneers have like a crush a team, but because they're banged up, I don't think this will be the game though. But
Yeah, so basically, I don't think Mike Evans going to be back this week. They still do have Chris Godwin and Emeka Buka. So I think their offense will be fine. It's more about the fact about that defense they're going against with their offensive line also not being fully healthy still. So, and then their defense, their secondary is questionable, I would say, unless they're playing the Eels in the second half. But
So I will say, if anyone can do it, it's Baker, though.
well, yeah, no, I know that, but it's just a matter of the Seahawks. How much is the Seahawks offense going to score? That's the
Because
question.
if the Buccaneers weren't hurt, I would say Buccaneers, no question. But because they're hurt, this is a question, though. Are the Seahawks actually good?
If they can
Or
compete with the
because if they compete with the
Buccaneers,
Buccaneers, that is more promising for the Seahawks, even though they're banged up. Because, like I said in the previous videos, that they haven't really beat anybody good, and the one team they beat that's considered good right now was more because the Steelers screwed up.
yeah,
So that's why for me it's like this. If they beat Buccaneers, this can show this the Seahawks are a good team. And it could, but Buccaneers are banged up, but that still doesn't push aside the fact that they beat the Buccaneers. So this could be a really good game, and it'll prove what the Seahawks are made of.
3, 2, 1,
Buccaneers.
Excellent. I'm taking Seattle.
Ah, boo.
I really don't like it either.
No.
I just feel like
Every game where you've been like, I don't know, I'm gonna go with this one. You've been like way wrong, by the way. Like almost every game, you've been like totally off. Like Browns, Ravens are like Browns, and then
I
they got
think.
crushed.
Well, I don't know, but anyway,
That was a really rough week for you because you took a bunch of hot picks. I'm like, dude, you don't take that many hot picks because then you're gonna like get like all wrong.
well, so far we picked the same team. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, and I do
You
think
only mix it up
Seahawks
just
have a chance to win. So
they have every team has had a chance. Even the Jets had a chance, but then Baker Mayfield came back. So for me, it's like as long as there's no tipped passes on Baker, then I think they'll easily win the game. I hope for a crush. I don't think it'll happen, but I do think Buccaneers will come out on top, especially if it's a close game. Now we have the Titans playing the Cardinals. If you want to know what Cam Ward thinks of the Titans, just watch his interview because I will not say it on this podcast. But they are just such a wacky team. I believe our head coach needs to be fired immediately. Take Mike McCarthy next season. I'll take him. I'll take Mike McCarthy as our head coach. I think he can help offensively. Our defense is still pretty solid, like decently solid. It's just our offense. Our O line's terrible, all out of whack. We need a better wide receiver. Maybe that's what we should look for drafting next year. Is like O line and like a wide receiver is what we really need next season. I think there might be an LSU wide receiver who could be good, but I'm going down a rabbit hole. The Cardinals, like I said, they normally start pretty strong in the regular season. They just lost to the Seahawks, um, which was a pretty fun game, Thursday night football game. The Cardinals, though, I think their team is just better, well-rounded than the Titans. So until the Titans can prove me wrong, I think it's a pretty easy pick. But ready?
3, 2, 1,
Cardinals. Yeah. Until the Titans actually win a game, I will probably never pick them because that's just how bad they are right now.
Then you got the Detroit Lions taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Lions.
The Lions have an offense. The Bengals don't have a defense, and the also don't even know if they have a real quarterback. So
Just
3, 2, 1 Lions.
Lions. Like it's just if Joe Burrow's playing, this would be a great game. But since he's not, sorry, you're probably gonna get your butt whooped, Bengals. Now we have what could be one of the best games this week. You have the Commanders taking on the Chargers. Now, Jane Daniels is probably going to be back. Terry McLaurin should be back. If they weren't back, then I would say Chargers, no question. But because they're going to be back, this is going to be a really good game.
Probably going to be the best, one of the best games this weekend.
Yeah, so. Probably one of the best games this weekend. Because it's just like both offenses are very creative with their game calls, their plays that they make. Jane Daniels is just that kind of quarterback where he can run, he can throw. Justin Herbert's just really good with throwing it. Martin Hampton is now.
Hey, don't disrespect Justin Herbert's legs. He can run.
He can run. But Omarion Hampton started to actually doing more this past week with like 130 rushing yards, something like that. So it's really impressive. The Commanders, it's like they had one good game with their backup, like I said. Then the next game they lost. But I don't think there's like panic mode for them right now. Panic mode would be like if they lose like 2 games in a row and then they're like 2-4. But I think this would be a good offensive game. Chargers defense is pretty solid, but I don't think they're good enough for the Commanders offense. So it'll be like a big like shootout game, which I love. So you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Commanders.
Chargers by 2 touchdowns.
No.
I
No
think they're
way.
going to blow them out.
No. You're again, you keep making all these picks just because you're so butt sore about
No,
like
no,
how
no, no,
good they are.
no. This one, I legitimately believe the Chargers are the way better football team.
No. Not
100%.
not with the Commanders healthy. No. They just lost to the Giants, okay?
Define healthy
What do you mean?
for the Commanders.
If
As in,
Terry
Jaden Daniels at 75%?
No, because they had him out this week again just to make him just to like be extra safe because he could have played this past Sunday. They just chose not
I
to.
just think that Justin Herbert and the offense is against the Commanders' defense is a bad matchup for the Commanders.
No, I think Commanders would do pretty well.
And I think the Chargers' defense is a better matchup for them against the Commanders' offense than their defense against the Chargers' offense.
No, I think that the Commanders are going to surprise people this week, and then I think people are going to be like, "Oh, are Chargers going back to like their messy like team again?" I'm like, "No, it's just the Commanders are a good team."
Jim Harbaugh's not losing to the Giants, then turn it around and not have a good game against the Commanders.
I don't know. We'll see.
Then we got Sunday Night Football.
Hopefully, a shootout.
Bills versus Patriots. Could be a very good game because the Bills' defense, I don't know how good they are. I don't think they're that. I don't think
Their defense is very questionable. The only person that's not questionable, Josh Allen.
Yeah,
that's literally the whole thing about the Bills.
James Cook,
it's like
too. James Cook's good.
Yeah, James Cook's good, but it's like literally, it's like the one thing you can guarantee about the Bills is Josh Allen because James Cook sometimes can have bad games and he has good games. So, but the only consistent player is Josh Allen, and that can be enough. He's proven it. He's proven that he's enough.
And then you got Drake May, who I think is having an underrated season so far.
He's definitely like every game. I feel like he's just been like building up, kind of.
Yeah.
Like his passing skill and everything. It's like week 1 he wasn't that good, but then he did better and better. Than this past week, yes, it was against the Panthers, but then he did like a really good game. We're like, oh, so he could actually be a really good quarterback this year.
Yep.
So this could definitely be a very big shootout game, which I am all for because I like the Patriots right now. Do I want them to win? No, but I'm saying that there's a chance. But Josh Allen, then again, Josh Allen's Josh Allen. If he needs to carry that team, he will. So you ready to make the pick?
3, 2, 1.
Bills. Yeah. If the
Patriots, I was worried you liked the Patriots.
I mean, if the Patriots win, I won't be upset.
Yeah, sure.
But I do think the Bills are still going to win it in the end. Finish off the week 5 of NFL. You have the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars. This game will prove if the Jaguars are legit or not this year because the Chiefs are now starting to look like their old selves. So they, like Mahomes had like 260 passing yards with like 4 passing touchdowns the past game. And then the Jaguars beat the 49ers, the banged up 49ers, but they're 3-1 and they have been playing pretty solid. They haven't played amazing, but they've been playing very solid games. The big question though is I think the Jaguars' offense for this game, because I think defensively they can hold the Chiefs enough that if their offense can click, then they could definitely win the game. But the big question though is that are you actually gonna be able to stop? Is your offense going to be able to score? Can Brian Thomas Jr. actually step up? And can they stop Mahomes with his flashy plays? The big thing, though, is to watch for Xavier Worthy and then Kelsey in the center because no one's watching Kelsey. Like, you just cover him. Just stay on him, and he won't be able to get open. And with Xavier Worthy, you just got to have someone back there just in case he runs deep to pick it. So if you do if you do things right strategically, you can win the game. You don't need to be flashy. You just need to plan according to the Chiefs and how they play. If you do that, you have a good chance. But also, the Chiefs having all this momentum they could just shut you out too. So it's I think it could be a very good game, or it could just be a very upsetting game for the Jaguars. Ready?
3, 2, 1. Jaguars.
Oh.
And I am predicting Travis Hunter will have his breakout game this game because I believe that they are going to put the number 1 corner on Brian Thomas Jr. I think that they need to stop playing Travis Hunter on defense. I think that he needs to pick the offense because he is so athletic and can catch really well. I watched him in college. He would be an amazing wide receiver. He might become wide receiver 1 because of the way Brian Thomas Jr. is playing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I do want Jaguars to win. Like, that's who I'm rooting for.
I think the reason that they're going to...
choose Chiefs just like a safe pick.
Yeah, the reason I'm picking the Jaguars is I believe that this is the week that they're going to unleash Travis Hunter on offense completely, and he's going to have a big game because they aren't going to see it coming.
Like I said, this could very well easily be the game where they prove, are they a good team this year, or are they just having a bunch of lucky team, like they're playing a bunch of teams that aren't actually that good and they're just being lucky. So it'll be very exciting. Can't wait for that game. And let's just see who's gonna come out on top in the end.
But anyway, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Do you agree with our picks? Disagree with our picks? Please let us know. Be sure to follow us on our social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. I think that's everything, right? Yeah. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'm Giuseppe.
I'm Antonios.
And this has been Dynamite Duo Sports.
These Jaguars. Please.
I am begging you.
I hope.